Well, that did surprisingly well, didn't it? Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone everywhere in between. I'm a Spectrum D, but you may also call me Lewis, and welcome to the second part of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure themed Fortnite season that myself and fellow forger Fiction Weaver 6 made 4 months ago at the time of this production. I'll be honest, neither of us expected it to gain as much traction as it did, and yet the forbidden fruit that is the YouTube algorithm blessed us with 4,500 views and 121 likes. Thanks for that, by the way. In this video, we plan on going over input from viewers, changes we've made, the story we've crafted, and finally finishing this bizarre hypothetical. Firstly, I'll be leaving you in Six's hands to start with. Welcome to the Fiction Forge.
Kato Throne's time manipulations have left the 0 point unstable, but before the heroes of Fortnite could react, a massive rift tears open in the sky. A reality-breaking collision between a mysterious power and the 0 point has shattered the Fortnite island, warping time, space, and destiny itself. With JoJo locations appearing across the map, powerful forces battle for control, while players must choose whether to stand against fate or rewrite it entirely. As the villains from JoJo start appearing on the island at their dedicated locations and learn of the power known as the 0 point, a power struggle ensues, and alliances are formed between the residents of the island and its new arrivals. Characters like Dr. Sloan ally himself with Enrico Pucci, and the Imagined along with the Order partner with Dio. Before any of these forces could start their move, we see heroes arrive from the parallel world in the town of Morio, finding themselves allies of Jonesy and the underground crew. Since the last video, we have thoroughly looked through the feedback given by you, the community, and have decided to alter some aspects of the first video, and wanted to give a quick rundown of things we have changed since. First off, a lot of comments pointed out maybe having someone like Enrico Pucci instead of Kira could help a lot with the logic of the crossover through the existence of stand discs. And thus, we have made the change, having Pucci instead, with a simple boss fight at one of the new map locations, and dropping an upgraded version of a random stand disc, lowering the cooldown and perhaps increasing the damage. Of course though, this would not work on stands obtained through boss medallions. This also implies that we got rid of the meteors around the island containing stand arrows, and instead placed them inside of the island's chests, with the rare chest having a higher drop rate. Along with that, we are also told that it would make more sense to have Steel Ball Run characters for the theme, and even though that is a valid point considering it would be the next big animated part for the franchise, we thought it would be a little too much. Since a large majority of our audience are anime only viewers, it made more sense to base this off of the already existing animated parts, and decided not to include anything from part 7 of JoJo's and onwards. There were a few more suggestions, of course, of changes we have included, like certain characters, items, jam tracks, and even accessories, but those will be revealed in due time.
Enrico succeeds in stealing the 0 point, with grand ambitions of reshaping the world. Believing that he can claim it, he contacts Dio, hoping to bring about the ultimate divine transformation. His actions will send ripples throughout the island, altering the reality of both the Fortnite and JoJo worlds. As the chaos spreads across the island, the JoJo heroes find themselves in Morio, working alongside Jonesy and the Fortnite resistance. The two sides quickly form an alliance, understanding that the 0 point is a powerful force that must be controlled or destroyed before it falls into the wrong hands. The battles are just beginning, and players must navigate the conflicting interests of both old and new factions. As the JoJo heroes enter the fray, Jotaro and his daughter Jolene make their way through Dio and Enrico's territories, appearing at Brawler's Battleground and Green Dolphin Street respectively, to offer their stand discs to those brave enough to oppose these tyrants. Players who choose to venture into these areas will meet Jotaro, who imparts his knowledge about Dio's powers and warns of his cruelty. Jolene offers similar warnings about Enrico's twisted ambitions. The tension rises as these two powerful forces seek to recruit allies for the coming conflict. Elsewhere, far removed from the conflict, Joseph Joestar is caught in a gunfight near the Cave of Masks, unaware of the larger threats at play. When players assist him in taking down Straizo, Joseph rewards them with an epic drum gun, blissfully unaware of the stand powers surrounding him. This random encounter gives players an unexpected and humorous interaction with Joseph, who remains undeterred despite the chaos. Players can also choose to side with Straizo and beat Joseph if they wish. Along with this new season, as with every season, come changes and additions to both the map and the characters that occupy it. Other characters from both IPs are dotted around the map, but these are the most important ones. We begin with the Cave of Masks, where the player can fight against all of the Pillar Men. First up is Santana, then AC/DC, then Wamu, and finally Kars. After he grabs the Redstone of Asia and transforms into the Ultimate Lifeform. Next is Green Dolphin Street, the new base of operations for Enrico, who wields Sea Moon as he fights the player. Following that is Dio's Mansion. This is pretty self-explanatory. The player should always have their guard up when entering Dio's domain, as he could appear from seemingly nowhere, using the world's overwhelming ability and power. Lastly is Morio Town, or more specifically the town centre. The player can find Jonesy and Josuke walking around and talk to them, getting their perspective on things. These two are mainly here for the player to ask questions, but Jonesy might give the player an item, who knows?
The 0 point has been stolen. Its power, once the lifeblood of the island, is now under the control of one being, Dio. With Poochie's help, the immortal vampire has fused with the 0 point itself, ascending beyond time, beyond space, and beyond fate itself. The skies fracture, glowing with an ominous golden light, and the very fabric of reality bends to Dio's will. The island trembles as Dio Zero emerges, a towering godlike entity whose mere presence warps existence across the map. His overwhelming power spreads, casting massive shifting shadows over the battlefield as a final battle begins, as heroes and villains alike are forced into an all-out war for control of the 0 point and the future of every reality. The battle will not be fought alone, but in a global event, players from all over the world unite to face Dio, their weapons barely scratching the cosmic entity's form. The battle rages across the entire island, with players dodging time-stop projectiles, surviving world-shattering attacks, and pushing forward against impossible odds. But this is only the beginning. As the final blow weakens Dio, the true fight for the 0 point begins. At the heart of the chaos, Jotaro steps forward. He has faced Dio before, but this is something beyond even what he imagined. With Dio's power to distort time and space, Jotaro is forced into a battle that defies reality itself. As the fight reaches its peak, Jotaro feels the overwhelming force of the 0 point surging through his body. In a moment of pure willpower, he ascends, becoming Jotaro Zero. His stand, now Star Platinum Zero, is no longer just fast enough to stop time. It exists outside of time, countering even the world Zero's newfound omnipotence. Their battle becomes the final, ultimate clash between these two destined rivals. One seeking absolute domination, and the other the last hope for the multiverse. While Jotaro takes on Dio, his allies face another deadly threat, Poochie, now wielding the full power of Maiden Heaven. With his abilities enhanced by the unstable fragment of the 0 point he acquired, Poochie seeks to accelerate reality itself, ensuring that only those he deems worthy survive the battle. But he is not unopposed. Jolene, Josuke, and Giorno stand together, each using their unique stand abilities to counter Poochie's impossible speed. With Crazy Diamond, Gold Experience, and Stone Free working in unison, the heroes managed to hold their own against Poochie's ever-accelerating onslaught. The battle pushes both sides to their limit, ending in a desperate all-or-nothing clash. Meanwhile, far from the 0 point, Joseph Joestar finally faces his greatest adversary, Ultimate Cars. Unaware of the full scale of the conflict, Joseph fights using his classic ingenuity and trickery. However, this time he is not alone. Will Zeppeli and Lisa join the fight, combining their hormone mastery to weaken Cars' immortality for even just a moment. The battle is fierce, but in the end, Joseph, with the help of his allies, pulls off one last brilliant trick. One that finally sends Cars to his painful, agonizing eternity in space. As the chaos spreads across the island, Jonesy faces an enemy of his own, the Imagined, who seeks to harness the 0 point for her own means. Their battle represents the ongoing conflict between the forces trying to control the island's destiny. Despite her skills, Jonesy refuses to back down. Their fight takes place across different warping realities, with Jonesy dodging in and out of time-shifted landscapes, trying to take her down before she can claim the power for herself. While heroes battle the multiversal threats, Ava finds herself locked in combat with Dr. Sloan, who has been manipulating events from the shadows. Sloan, always one step ahead, tries to outmaneuver Ava at every turn. But in the end, Ava lands the final blow, proving that the island's future belongs to those who fight for it, not those who seek to control it. With the 0 point finally freed from Dio's grasp, Jotaro makes a fateful decision. Using his newfound power, he stabilizes the 0 point one last time, rewriting reality to fix the damages done to the island. As the Fortnite world is restored, the JoJo heroes begin to disappear, their presence no longer needed in this universe. One by one, they fade into the rift, returning to their own world. Jolene reaches out to Jotaro as the light engulfs them. With that, Jotaro Zero vanishes along with the rest of the JoJo cast. The 0 point disappears, once again missing, and the world is left in an uneasy peace. As the island settles back into an eerie calm, Jonesy and Ava stand together, looking out over the now healed landscape. The camera pans upward, showing the sky slowly fracturing once more. The season ends with a single ominous flash, implying while one battle has ended, the next has only just begun.
As part of the criticism we received in the comments of the last video, we were informed about the absence of jam tracks through a comment by... Forgive me, this is a bit of a strange name, but I'm going to assume it's Damned Witcher or Damned Watcher 96. One doesn't truly know how many songs we'd have in the game, but we can see a mix of songs used in the end credits and anime originals brought into the game. Our picks are Roundabout by Yes, Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles, Il Ventadoro, Stardust Crusaders, and Theme of Stone Ocean, all by Yugo Kano, and Fukutsu Mushi no Sakibi. Apologies if I've said that wrong, it's basically Jonathan's theme. By... I'm sorry, I'm not even going to try and pronounce this. The artist's credit is in Japanese katakana and I refuse to butcher it. The items available to purchase in the item shop will consist of the previously mentioned jam tracks and skins based on characters both seen in the collab story and not. All of the characters and items can be bought separately, or in the bundles which we'll go over now. Firstly is the Hamon Instructor Bundle, consisting of Will A. Zeppeli and Lisa. Secondly is the Hamon Successor Bundle, which holds Jonathan Joestar and Joseph Joestar, the latter of which having young and old variants. Lastly is a bundle that we legitimately couldn't think of a better name for, so we've called it the Left Behind Bundle. This bundle holds Josuke Higashikata, Giorno Giovanna, and Jolene Cujo. All of these bundles would likely come with other cosmetics, but perhaps you, the viewer, can think of some good ones to go with the listed characters.
But that's going to be all the time we have for today's video. If you have any feedback to give us on this video, feel free to leave a comment. And let us know if there are any other videos like this you would like us to cover in the future. We also have a Discord. If you want to interact with us directly or with other like-minded individuals, the link to that will be down in the description. And if you haven't yet, maybe consider checking out Spectrum's newest video on Blaze and the potential of the Soul Dimension from Sonic. That will be in the end cards of this video. But this has been Fiction Weaver 6 and A Spectrum D, and this has been the Fiction Forge. Fare thee well.
Let us guide you.
Let fate decide.